A dog may be a man's best friend, but every woman out there knows that that distinct honor goes to our stylist. With the mere help of a blow dry and scissors, they can literally transform our lives or destroy it. So for all you ladies who have had a bad haircut or literally had one that was the extreme makeover, you are going to be so excited to see who we have on our show today. There's a gentleman who has taken into consideration the things that we don't normally think about. And that would be the products that we put in our hair to achieve that fabulous look. So if you stay with us, you're going to meet Jay Humphrey of Humphrey Salon, who has designed and developed an entire hair care management line that will give you that look that you walk out the salon with in your own home. So stay with us.
From coast to coast across North America, this is Deeper Living, bringing the inspirational marketplace to your front door. We exist to bring you the latest and greatest from authors, artists, and artisans around the world. You're going to love this.
Hello and welcome to Deeper Living. I'm your host, Meredith Book, and today, if you just watched our intro coming into the show, we have a very special guest, Jay Humphrey of Humphrey Salon. He's a seasoned stylist, and he's gone beyond the salon into bringing us a brand new hair care line where he's taken into consideration many of the things that we've never thought about. So this is going to be a fantastic show. Jay, thank you so much for joining us today, and it's a pleasure. And you've sent your products to me. I've been using them on my hair, and it wasn't until, I don't know, maybe after about 2 or 3 weeks, I started looking through, sort of the ingredients and all these other things that you've taken into consideration in developing this product. And I kind of thought, wow, how do you start with that?
Right.
But, you've been a stylist for over 20 years in the industry. And tell us a little bit about your background that sort of brought you up to, designing your own line. I know a lot of people like to think of that as more of a vanity thing and they can put their name on it. But you had very valid reasons for really pulling in and designing the line that you are going to share with us today. But share a little bit about that background.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I've been in the business for 25 years now, and I've carried product lines anywhere from the least expensive to the most expensive.
Right.
One thing stays the same, and it's usually the first 3 ingredients that you see in any shampoo, and it's going to be water, sodium lauryl sulfate, and usually, another type of filler. Could be propylene glycol, something like that. And I guess over the last 3 or 4 years, I myself, began to look at what was in hair care products, what was the big stink about with certain ingredients. This had been proposed to me years ago, and I just dismissed it as something, ridiculous.
Well, and I think especially when you're in the industry, in the salon industry, it's really about keeping up with what the latest hair care trend is. So it's if you're not carrying a certain brand or a certain product that really is at the forefront of the new trend,
the latest brand is really the key, but it's never what's in the product.
Right. So that's really sort of the last, consideration. And I think, with so many of these beauty supply stores opening up, these products, these salon products now have become available for the everyday consumer. And we don't know. I mean, we don't, again, we look at brands and that sort of thing. Now, with the ingredients that you just mentioned, the sodium lauryl, explain what that is. I mean, explain why all of a sudden this became sort of something that was kind of a wake-up call for you.
Okay, well, basically, sodium lauryl sulfate is used in everything from garage floor cleaners to dog shampoo to dishwashing soap.
About my hair.
And so, that's what you're putting on your hair. But companies have gotten so good at different mixtures that whenever you use a shampoo that's so creamy and makes your hair feel, that's sulfate.
Okay.
It's the sodium lauryl sulfate, which it's been around for years. It's used in so many different products. And no one has ever, said, hey, is there something else available? It's very inexpensive. It's, one of those things that, it's kind of like, well, everybody else is using it. Why don't I use it?
Right.
And it's very cost effective.
Right.
There are other alternatives out there. One is sodium marath, which is what we use in, the Humphrey Concepts line. There's other ingredients, propylene glycol, which is, my understanding is, it was originally used for, in conjunction with antifreeze.
Oh,
And it's used as a filler in a lot of products.
That's nice to know.
Sure. And
My hair.
so,
Yeah.
we sit and we look at what we're eating, what's good for us, what's bad for us, but we never
Right.
think, well, what's in,
What are we putting?
hair care,
Yeah.
skin care, especially hair care, because
Right.
you're going to absorb the most through anywhere where there's hair follicles.
Right.
So,
Which is, for most everybody, is their entire body. I mean, you
Correct.
do have, if you look at the skin as the largest organ, and then you look at all the places that your hair exists.
right.
Absolutely.
And sodium lauryl sulfate's going to be in any body wash,
Right.
anything you use like that, and it's several studies done that says that sodium lauryl sulfate will actually change the structure of your skin and actually act as a passport for other ingredients to be absorbed in your skin.
Right.
So
Yeah, and and I think as a consumer walking in or as a client walking into a salon, you don't even question the product. And
Right.
especially for women who go into a well-known or high-end salon and they're going for the experience, a lot of times,
Right.
I know for my mother and even for myself and a lot of women, it's really about going in there and socializing, and you're catching up
Sure.
with friends, and really over the years they become friends, they become
Right.
confidants, and you really do trust that you don't question the products that are being used on your hair because you're assuming they're the professionals, they're the experts, and you walk out, your hair feels and looks the way it
Right.
should. And I'm sure it's absolutely no different at your salon.
Sure.
And and you have probably one of the best known salons in the Dallas area.
Yes.
And so a lot of people are looking at you. You've done hair. You've literally been a stylist for local celebrities in Dallas, and any national celebrities?
Yes, the Dixie Chicks for about 3 years. Al Denson.
Right.
There's been everyone from Michelle Kwan to, Charlie Pride. Everybody's been through there.
So as your profile was raising, do you think that also sort of raised people are looking at you then to definitely, keep that,
Sure.
that bar there? Was that part of the process of thinking, it's time to kind of look at something different, or?
Right. I think more than anything, it was some people that I met that, really had experience with, ingredients and these kind of things. And,
Right.
and at first I was, it's like, come on, it's shampoo. But, you do use it
that's
on
like
your
most
skin
of
and
us,
it does
yeah.
absorb. And, so the more I researched on my own, the more I found, if that many people are raising a stink about it, then
Right.
there's got to be something there.
Right. Right.
And if we can cut at least 50% of all the toxic chemicals, whether it's from your household, your shampoo, your whatever it may be,
Right.
hey, maybe you'll live longer.
Right. Right.
And cancer is at an all-time high.
Right, and we're definitely moving into an age of more eco-conscious environment. I mean, right now you can't get a bigger movement than the green movement.
Sure.
It's everywhere. It's in the press. It's in the media. It's absolutely everywhere. But by taking those small steps,
Right.
maybe by changing into a product such as yours that's being developed by
Right.
somebody who is actually paying attention to what's going
Right.
on, and then also putting it out there for us to actually purchase and
Right.
really start to use and begin to use. You've taken out, I know, the parabens, which is the P word. We've actually had to
Right.
discontinue some of our lines on the retail end of our company and deeper
Right.
shopping, and I know that's one thing that we really need to be conscientious of.
The three big ones for me are sodium lauryl sulfate, propylene glycol, and the parabens. But until further studies come out that are a little more conclusive on
Right. Better safe than sorry.
right. Granted, in styling products, that's always been an issue because without some synthetics, you cannot make a styling product that works.
You can't make a mohawk?
Well, those are traditional resins, and in order to get something to perform, you've got to put something in there that.
Right. Right. You're
has a
actually going to be, later in our show, in this next segment, you're going to be styling. We've brought a model on that you're going to be
Right.
styling and really showing how to use your products,
Sure.
because they're not just, environmentally and also health conscious products They work. They're
Right.
designed to
Yes.
literally be styling products that will give you all the management tools that
Right.
you need to get just a fantastic look.
Yeah,
in
and
hair
one
design.
key thing is anytime you use any kind of styling product, especially a spray, avoid inhaling it.
Right.
Especially aerosol stuff. It's my wife she'd get more on the floor than she would in her hair. And
Isn't that sort of a Dallas thing? Aren't you guys the
you
big
walk
hair
in the
people?
bathroom, it's a big,
So-
fog. But they're
Yeah.
they're meant to use in short bursts, not
Right.
you spray a cloud and jump into it.
Well, I'm excited to see how you demonstrate those products. So we're going to actually take a short break, and when we come back, Jay is going to demonstrate how to use his products and kind of walk us through how each of these styling products you can use in your own home. So stay with us. Hello and welcome back to Deeper Living. If you're just joining us, we are actually right in the middle of a styling session with Jay Humphrey. And earlier, right before the break, Jay, we were talking about really all the different types of ingredients that are going into styling
Right.
products these days that not every, the everyday consumer or the everyday client coming into a salon is definitely not going to be aware of. But
Right.
having worked with some of the top line products in the industry over the years, like you said, you sort of take it for granted until you really started listening to what a lot of people were saying about these, possibly toxic ingredients. And
Right.
so now you've really developed an entire line of hair care products and styling products. And so this is our model, Fern Goodyear, and we've been sort of working on her hair, which is typically very, very curly,
Yeah, she's
very,
got very thick
frizzy.
hair, very curly hair. What we wanted to do basically is take a product we developed called Hot Spray.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot of things on the market like Hot Spray.
Let's see if I can.
They're starting to come out.
Here we go.
Although Hot Spray is it's made with some synthetics. Like we talked earlier on the show, it's just hard to make a product
Right.
without
right.
some synthetics in it. But basically, it has some ingredients in there that help protect the hair against styling tools and
Right.
hot rollers and stuff like that.
Right.
In using it, it has just what we call a little bit of fixative in it.
Okay.
Which is what we refer to as ingredients in hairsprays.
Okay.
They're either really strong or really mild.
Okay.
And this one is very mild, and it basically just gives us control and protection from a flat iron. A
Right.
good flat iron, the brand doesn't really matter as long as it can get up to at least 390 degrees
Wow. Okay. Okay.
with ceramic plates or what they call tourmaline plates.
Okay.
Which theoretically that is supposed to hold the moisture into the hair.
Okay. So this is and a flat iron can be used on wavy hair, straight hair. There's a lot
Yes.
of different things that you can do to kind of manipulate.
Right, and
flat
the
iron.
main thing you want to do if you're trying to straighten your hair, you want to do that as much as you can with a blow
Right.
dryer and a brush.
Right. And
A flat
kind of-
iron should never do all of the work for you.
Okay.
And
And that's what part of now when you're using the product, okay, you've in your hair care line, let's run through it because you've developed about 6 essentials for just complete one-stop finish from the shampoo
right,
to the conditioner, and then what's the next step?
and then the next step would be the volumizing spray.
Okay.
Then if you're of a certain hair type, you would use the cellophane. That's more for
Right.
color-treated hair, dry hair, and what that does is help
That's what
seal
I
the
use. Yeah.
cuticle down.
Right.
Then after that, you would basically use your hot spray.
The hot spray. And
For
this is
hot
really
tools.
just for styling. If you're going to do anything, you don't need to spray this on unless you're about ready to style
Correct.
something. Okay.
These all 6
All right.
products were made in conjunction to use
Okay.
as a system.
Okay. And so you've sprayed this side, and so this is sort of our before and after. And
Right.
like you said, the hot spray actually acts as a protectant from the hair, so you're not
Exactly.
just frying the hair.
Right.
Now, I know when we were doing this side of Fern's hair over the break real quick to get that shortened, you spray it and it kind of sizzles, and you were like, don't worry, I'm not
Well,
burning
that's
your hair.
only if when you spray it on there and it's still wet.
Okay, so you just
Now
spray
you
it.
can spray it in there and comb it, spray it all through your hair, then comb
Okay.
it in, and by that time it's going to be dry.
Okay.
And but yes, it's not going to hurt your
It's
hair.
not going to hurt the hair. Okay. Wonderful.
And the key too, whenever you're using any kind of styling tool, is to make sure,
Okay.
just like I'm doing here, that not only you comb it through there,
Right.
but let me take a little.
Okay.
But you make sure that that is smooth
Okay.
before you put any iron to it.
All right.
And notice I'm going at a steady motion, but I'm not
Right.
going too fast.
Okay.
And what I've done is straighten the hair.
Right.
Hair's more resilient than you think. And where shine comes from is when the cuticle is closed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you're
I
not
thought it came
blow
from all
drying
the
your
shiny
hair-
products I use.
No. I mean,
All
you
the
could.
hundreds of dollars of shiny products I've
You
invested
can
in.
use a shine product on curly hair, and you're not going to get that much shine.
Right. Right.
But once you seal that cuticle down, that's where the shine comes from.
Okay. Oh,
So
these trivia. Now, yeah, are there any other fantastic tips we should?
just when you're using a flat iron, the key is make sure that you don't stop
Okay.
in the middle of, and get a good clamp down on it.
Okay.
And just go in a steady motion.
So what happens if you stop?
You'll get a crease.
Okay.
We don't want a crease.
Which is has happened to me as I'm interrupted from the kids or running around with the
it's hard to get that crease out.
yeah, the curling iron or the yes. So it's just one fluid motion. You're just taking panels of the hair and just pulling them through.
Right.
And so you can either, like you said, spray on the hot spray either prior to it or as you go.
Correct.
Okay.
Now sometimes when I'm doing, some really serious, curls to make that wave, I'll use more
Go this way.
of the hot spray
Okay. Okay.
just to get a little bit more spring out of that.
right. Right.
Fern, if you could turn just a little bit this way,
And we'll just
and we will
yeah. Oh, we've got a great
show where
Before and
we
after.
have the curl. And as you can see how straight and smooth that side is.
I'm gonna have you turn towards this camera because you've got such curly hair. It's hard to see because it's so dark.
And I'm going to try to stay out of the way of the camera here, so I'm going to take this.
Now, with the products, looking at a lot of styling magazines and a lot of the fashion magazines out there, it's almost like you need to be investing in so many different products. How did you decide, okay, I'm going to narrow it down to just these 5? This is really just the basic.
Well, I took basically, what do you really need? You don't need 100 different products.
Right, right.
Basically, a good shampoo, conditioner. You need a good styling product that is not what I would call heavy.
Right, okay.
Like I said, styling products should not do all the work for you.
Right, right.
And and we did the flat iron spray just for the purpose of protection, and then. If you get the blow dry and everything right, you don't need a heavy hairspray.
Right, right.
We've made a very
And
mild
that's-
spray.
Yeah, because you can actually style it as you're blow drying it. But even, because I'm one of those low maintenance gals that I just don't, I don't take a lot of time. I usually don't have a lot of time. And so a lot of times, and when I started using your product, what I really liked was literally spraying in the spray gel. If I blow dried, I instantly got the body I needed. And I would have to say, and I think you'd agree with this as well, if you have the right cut, it's going to fall the way it should fall. And if you find yourself continuously having to manipulate to get it into a style, then it probably wasn't cut correct to begin with. And I've noticed, kind of with that low maintenance routine, that's always my signal to go get my hair trimmed or get it back into style. But it is very easy to use. I mean, I just put it in, it goes, I blow and dry and out the door. And it's very fun to use. Now, your products, unlike a lot of the products on the market, have just a very, very faint scent. In terms of sort of that sensory experience, I mean, some of the products can be just overwhelming. And I know some women love that because it's the whole aromatherapy and the whole experience, but...
Well, most of the time, that's fragrance.
Right.
Which is a chemical fragrance. Ours was, it was developed with oils.
Right.
Essential
so
oils.
It's a very natural smell. It's a very clean smell. And for any of you viewers out there who are extremely sensitive to or have hypoallergic reactions to things and definitely sensitive to smell, this is going to be a wonderful product for you because there's nothing in it that is going to cause that irritation, and certainly nothing that's going to, in terms of the scent, that is going to really drive you crazy. And I know there's some overly floral ones that I've used over the years that, it's just, I don't know, I always feel like they're still in my hair when I get out of the shower. I didn't quite get the conditioner out. And
yeah, this is a very clean, fresh line of products.
Wow, that is just so smooth.
Once you've finished your style, if you have to use cement for hairspray, then you've
and then, literally then just, finishing it off, just holding the look.
Yeah, you've done something wrong. And I always tell, I tell people that if you get it done right in the blow dry, you're going to have to do less with your flat iron. You're going to have to do less with hairsprays and stuff like that, which if it's a really strong hairspray, it can break your hair. And
well, I always find that having used, so many products over the years, if I use something that's extremely harsh, and with blonde hair, mine dries out. It's extremely dry and brittle. And I, with long hair, when I trim it, there's nothing worse than those split ends and that long, straggly pieces of hair that hang down. I sort of call it the white trash blonde hair that looks healthy on top and ratty by the time you get to the bottom. And that's always my signal, but it happens. I know right away when I've used a product was not for my hair type and was not suited to the needs of my hair. And yours sort of covers that whole broad spectrum of any hair type. It's just a good, clean product. This looks fantastic. Fern, I'm going to have you look at the center camera.
You can take the cellophane right afterwards. This product right here behind you.
Oh, let me grab that. You got it?
Got it.
And this is just almost like a clear, I don't want to say gel, because it's a lot more dense than just sort of a weird sticky gel. It's actually very smooth.
And you can use this mainly before you blow dry, but you can use it afterwards, especially on
and you just work it through the
ferns. It not only adds some shine, but it'll add some texture through the hair.
Okay.
And give her that kind of a separated look.
We're actually going to jump to a short break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up with Jay and really just run through the product lineup of all of the different styling tools that he has been sharing and using throughout this segment. So stay with us and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Deeper Living. We've been visiting with Jay Humphrey of Humphrey Salons and Hair Care Products. And if you're just joining us, you are still in time to go through the whole product selection and view some of the most incredible styling products to come in a long, long time. So Jay, thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to run through these products. In our last segment, we were styling Fern's hair. She typically has real curly, frizzy hair.
Right.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely straight, wonderful, the texture, the shine. But let's run through the collection that you have and really start with our first step, which is the shampoo.
The shampoo. The shampoo was, of course, created without sodium lauryl sulfate, which we talked about earlier.
Right.
And it has a lot of natural ingredients in it. And we basically, did the best that we could do to make it moisturizing enough to, be for every hair type.
And it has the aloe.
Yes, it has the aloe vera and the Barbendissus leaf juice.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
That's a tongue twister.
I'm glad you said that.
And that is the base for the shampoo and the conditioner.
Okay, all right, wonderful. And so they go in tandem. Okay, I have to ask you a random question, even though I know we don't have much time. Do you really have to shampoo twice?
Only if you're the kind of person who does not shampoo every day.
Okay.
Because the first time it may not lather up.
Okay, okay.
Because of the oils in your hair. And if you're a product junkie, you're probably going to have to shampoo twice.
Okay. Well, I was curious if that was a whole industry thing you salon people made up so that we'd run out of product and have to use it. Okay, anyway.
No.
So now let's jump to the conditioner, obviously to be used right after the shampoo.
Right.
And this again has, like you said, the base, and I won't pronounce the leaf, but that fabulous extract that really keeps the moisture in and non-drying. And then we move on to the next item.
The volumizing spray.
This is the volumizer. And this is literally what you spray. And this is at the roots?
Yeah, you can spray it on the roots. You can spray it through the, mid shaft all the way down to the ends.
Right.
You can't overuse it.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
not
wonderful.
something that's going to get sticky.
Okay.
Matter of fact, none of the styling products will ever get that
Right,
sticky.
which is one thing that I've noticed, because that's my sort of my pet peeve with any of the gels or the
Right.
hairsprays, and I typically can't use a gel because it makes my hair look like it's just wet. And then when I blow dry it, I still feel like it's in there, and I didn't feel that.
Yeah, the volumizing spray, I use that in the salon a lot of times as a cutting solution.
Right, right. Wow, okay.
So.
And now this is a real fun product, and I do enjoy this. This is the cellophane.
Cellophane, which pretty soon will change the name to Celloseal. Mainly because it's designed to seal the cuticle of your hair.
Right.
Especially if you have bleached hair, dry hair,
Okay.
you know, colored hair, erratic hair, super curly hair.
Right.
You know, it's designed to help seal that cuticle as you blow
Right,
dry.
right. And at this.
It also helps lock the moisture in.
Okay, and those first three are pretty much, if you live in Southern California, you just nailed
Sure.
it. Dry, color treated, and I want to just squeeze this out because it's a really interesting, again, it's not sticky. You think it's going to be like a gel, and it's not.
Right.
It's really lightweight. It's almost it's extremely creamy, but it's very soft. It's not a
Right.
sticky gel, and you just put that on and just put that over your hair, but it's just a wonderful product. Now, is this, I'm assuming because you're putting it in your hair, does anyone ever use this on their skin?
You know what? We had a version of it made up with a little different consistency, and it made an awesome hand
Because
lotion.
I'm putting it on my hands. That's how I use it.
It was a great hand lotion.
It's a fantastic hand lotion. And I was I started to do that because I would just have the excess, which I would normally rinse off after you put something in your hair. And I
Right.
started just putting it on my hands. And then I thought, well, it's all natural product. And if I'm
Right.
putting it on my hair, there's no reason why I couldn't.
Sure.
So I didn't want to misuse the product. But
No,
and then we've got the next in line is the hot spray. And this is the product that we used in the last segment on Fern's
Right.
hair as you were spraying it and styling it as you went.
Yeah, that's actually our number one selling product.
Okay.
It's, you know, with the flat iron used today, and, you know, those curled looks are coming back
Right,
in. Not
right,
perms, but
Right. Thank
those
goodness.
curled
Let's
looks
just
are,
hope that never happens again.
but that works great for protecting your hair and giving you a little bit of fixative in there. So.
Wonderful. And then, of course, the final product to hold it all in, to hold that style, and that is the hairspray.
You
So
can actually use the hairspray before you use a styling tool if your hair is shorter, thicker, to give you a little bit more crisp
right.
curl
A little
in there.
bit more of a definition there on the end. Well, this
But
is
you can
wonderful.
brush it right out. Like I said, it won't be sticky.
It's not the sticky clump dry.
Right.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being
Sure.
on our show
Thank you
today,
for
Jay.
having me.
And it's been an absolute, just insightful show, I should say. Learned a few tips I didn't know.
Good.
So, especially that my hair isn't shiny from product. Anyway, but it has been just great to have you on, and I'm really encouraged by this product. I'm excited to have it on our Deeper
Good.
Living show, and you too at home, if you've been watching this segment, you can also get all of these products. You'll find them on our website at www.deeperliving.com. And thank you for watching today, and I hope you'll join us here every day on Deeper Living.